Don't blame me for this. This was tangled on the show.
No, please.
You're not going to
Thank you so much. Guys, how do you guys know each other?
No.
You don't have
What's
to wear
up?
headphones. You can if you want.
I'm a headphones guy.
Oh, okay. Well, how do you guys know each other?
Stand-up comedy.
Do you remember
How do you guys know each other?
Do you remember the first time you met? Can you tell it like a movie?
No.
No, not really.
I don't. I mean, the only notable thing that I can think of is that I met your dad before I met you, I think.
What?
Yeah.
Ooh.
You met my dad at like a charity gig thingy for
Was
their
he
school.
very down to earth and very funny?
Yeah, he was a nice dad. And
That was just for Olga, that one.
It's a reference to a tweet. Don't worry.
It's like a viral tweet. I met him at a charity do once and he was quite down to earth and very funny.
And then
you met
surprisingly down
her
to
dad?
earth.
there was a viral tweet that then that format then was like anytime a dictator dies, they'll be like, I met him at a charity event once and he was surprisingly down to earth and very funny.
Someone had said it about someone really controversial, but in full seriousness, it was like a politician had tweeted it or something about like another politician or someone who was like, I can't even remember the but then it became like a running joke where people would read, as Olga said.
I'm actually, now you mention it and describe it, I'm familiar with it. But I suppose, were you then implying that Rohan's dad was
a dictator?
A dictator of the English classroom.
And evil. Deceased and a bad guy.
Yeah. Well, your dad, Gaddafi.
A guy came up to me after my show last night and was like, hey, Rohan, I enjoyed your show a lot. I know your parents. And he had like kind of balding grey hair and a grey beard and like the tortoise shell glasses and like a little blades. And I was like, oh, I bet you fucking know my parents. Just a beautiful left wing man. Another English teacher come to have a look and be very complimentary. I'm like,
well, that was my experience. He was very nice and then said that Rohan does comedy. So I suppose I had an affection for him from the beginning, having met the father. You know what I mean?
That's really
feel
lovely.
Like a movie.
That's really
that
nice.
is nice.
Also, I saw Tom's show. I'd just like to say it was fantastic.
Thank you.
Time of my life. Had the time of my life.
Thanks so much.
Anytime.
Not bad.
nice, not bad.
Instagram story as well.
I'll pop it on there. If I'm seeing your show for free, I'm paying with interaction. Right. I'm paying with content.
At what point during the performance are you drafting the thing you're going to say in the Instagram story where you tag them?
I post because I'm so bricked from my Instagram, and this is not a euphemism. I have
those ads that I get for the brick.
I have a brick. My brother got me a brick for Christmas, so I only really try to go on Instagram once a week. So I do like
once a week.
Well, now kind of because I need to post things. I'll go in for a minute and then I'll brick immediately because I'm trying to get my numbers up.
Yep.
But I gamify anything. But so I was doing it once a week. So I actually was thinking about what I was typing days after I saw the show because that's when I was posting about it.
Oh, right. So you're being present.
I try to be, yeah.
During mine.
Yeah.
Great. So this is something I check with each person.
Just yours.
How present were you? 8 out of 10. Were you thinking about other things? What other things were you thinking about? Were they funnier than me?
Well, like a therapist. Yeah.
I'm very defensive.
But that I like the idea that like for several days you could have been sweating on the Olga Cock Instagram story like a chortle review or something.
Well, I didn't know you were there. I think that's the dream for a performer. I
should have let you know.
No. This was the dream, is to not know someone that you like is there, so there's no stakes. But then you find out afterwards, then it's all gravy. It doesn't have to make you anxious at all.
I'd say you were very nice about your story. A man I've never met in my entire life, but I will full name, Dan Rath, come on the pod, just quoted my story, reposted it. That's it. No, thank you. No, wow. And I just think that is a power move. That is a power move. Another fan. He thought, another fan.
The famously socially adept Dan Rath.
Can I defend Dan? I have a feeling he doesn't run his social media.
Yeah, that's his manager.
Oh, okay. I thought that was such a power move. I was like, I immediately drafted a thing being like, no, it was amazing, King. Notice me.
Well, Rathy doesn't run his own Instagram. But I just do that. I don't type anything.
He didn't. No, he didn't even heart it. It was or whoever runs the account. They just reposted the story. That's it.
So this is feedback to Rathy's social media manager.
I think you
got to heart
whoever's
the
doing it nailed his voice.
Exactly. Yeah. They have approval to respond whatever they want.
There's a style guide.
Make everyone uncomfortable. I feel like if you are going to get someone to do social media, you need to give them like the ability to interact with people.
Yeah, for me, it's like it's got to be an exclamation point at the end of every fucking sentence. Hated the show.
yeah.
Needs work. I need it. I don't know what a full stop even is.
But then if you start paying a guy to be in your social media and to like reply, then you're going to start having to tell them like how to be, like the style guide you're referring to. You start telling them how to be funny in your voice. And then once they're nailing that, you're like, well, maybe push this motherfucker out on stage. Get him doing that as well.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, I just stay home. I make what,
opening.
20% in total.
Yeah. I like that.
Isn't that the dream to just have like another guy who's just you, who just like takes care of it all?
Not even a little bit. The only person I dream for that is I have an OnlyFans, a comedy OnlyFans. Thank you very much.
Oh, right. Yeah.
But
this is a phenomenon in the UK.
Oh, yeah.
Badger actually told me
Yeah,
about
she's
this.
not being extremely.
No. People have comedy OnlyFans, but OnlyFans.
I do comedy about my feet on there.
No, it's just my stand-up sets, but it's just a foot cam.
Yeah.
And well, they do outreach. They like want comedians because my understanding is that they don't want to be known as a porn platform. They want to be known as a content platform that happens to have some porn.
For the purposes of the MasterCard being usable on it.
Yes, absolutely.
They have the same relationship with comedy that John Mayer does, where they're desperately seen. They want to be seen as funny.
So
I hate being a successful musician.
My understanding is that you like do better on it if you do interact with people. So I would love someone to do my DMs on OnlyFans.
Yeah, right.
Because every now and then, I would say daily, I will get a message. And if you did send me this, I love you, have a wonderful day. It'll be like, great content. That's a camera. I love speaking to it.
Oh, right. Okay. It's like,
that's your camera.
That's yours. If you want to ever do like a sort of Jim from The Office thing, that's the one.
Yeah.
I would love, because it would be like a sweet man being like, amazing comedy content. Do you think you're ever going to post your boobs? They're so polite. They're always so polite.
Don't get me wrong. I love the laughs, but
you're such a good writer. And feet.
And how do we feel about them? Because I feel like that is like, so, I don't know how you guys feel, but there are shark attacks every now and then in Australia. And often when there is a shark attack, you'll see people say this. I don't know where I stand, but you'll still see people say, hey, you went to their environment, so you can't get mad at them for biting.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a bit similar.
Oh, no, I don't.
You've gone to the horny guys. Kind of.
You went to the masturbation.
You went to where the masturbating is happening.
Yeah.
And so, I think it would be inappropriate for someone to message on Instagram being that sexual, but perhaps.
I don't mind it. Like, you're well within your right on OnlyFans to ask for my boobs. But again, that's not to say that I'm having a great time engaging with it.
Yeah, totally.
Is that fair to say?
That's fair to say.
I think we're both right.
In the similar way that the surfer doesn't have to love being eaten. But they're not allowed to complain about it.
Guy on OnlyFans being like, if I ate you, you would love it.
Wait, have you heard about this? No great whites in South Africa anymore because the orcas have eaten them.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
But
A lot of the great whites we did have to leave in the early 90s because of some unpleasantness.
No, they were the worst whites.
Yeah, no, they were not great.
This is true.
Yeah.
But apparently the orcas don't even eat the whole shark. They will eat just the pancreas because that's the most calorie dense bit.
Okay.
Is my understanding.
Oh, wow, they're bulking.
Yeah.
They're protein pilled, the orcas.
The orcas are protein pilled. But
everything orcas do is very mysterious. Like when they all started attacking the yachts for no reason.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, why have they all started doing that? Like they always feel like they're up to something.
what's interesting about that is that orcas have been around for a while. Why are they just doing it now? Like when I heard about the great whites thing, I'm like, so presumably they could have been eating the great whites this entire time. What happened?
Do you think they're like they actually have like an incredibly advanced society that we're not aware of, and they're having like cultural trends and shit? Like there's like an orca podcast. There's like Orca Joe Rogan who's like, you gotta be eating shark liver, man. You gotta be. It's the protein. It's crazy. You've got to, Jamie, pull that up.
So it's the woke orcas who are destroying the yachts.
It could just be Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
It could just be Joe Rogan. Like they could,
he's talking to the whale.
They're like listening. They're like, protein
It's
pills,
not
that's
even an
pretty
orca
good.
Joe Rogan.
It's not an orca Joe
regular
Rogan.
Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
We're affecting them, mate.
I think it might be climate change.
Whoa.
It's probably climate change.
They're like,
But then
fuck,
again,
it's hot.
yachts have been around for a while. How come are they attacking the yachts now?
Desperation, less other stuff to eat.
But they're not eating the yachts. They're destroying them. Is it just
But that's something you do if you're hungry.
the hot temperatures making them testy
Pissed off.
and more irritable?
Yeah.
I mean, I hadn't heard of this. I'm making this up on the fly.
Okay, but it's probably the answer is probably climate change, and they probably ran out of other food to eat, so now they're moving on to shark pancreas.
Mate, if crocodiles start coming down the coast in Australia,
Why aren't they? Why haven't
every
they?
climate route because it's just too cold, and they're cold blooded.
Because they're around
all the top
Darwin.
yeah.
No,
Well, isn't it the opposite where it's
all
like
Cairns,
the waters they can survive in are moving south because the waters are now warm enough?
Getting warmer.
in, like, New
is this
South
on the
Wales.
cards?
It's on the cards. Yeah.
Well, yeah, like the way
and the
that they're-
jellyfish are coming down as well, mate.
Yeah.
The way
We got to
that-
get to the climate rally, mate.
No.
It's the only animal that I'm pro killing. I'm like, let's just take them out, man.
It
They're
does-
dinosaurs. Come on.
Yeah.
They're
Set the orcas on
The
them.
scales of these are in this configuration that they can be 1 mil under the water and not create a ripple. And it's like, just kill them. I'm sorry.
It is like almost a hack in the same way that I think pregnancy is kind of like a good thing because, and I just think if you're
Soundbite,
pregnant
soundbite.
out there, you look radiant at the moment. But like, I feel like it builds in a 9-month period where like the woman is coming to terms with having a kid, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It kind of like emotionally readies. And in a similar way, like climate change, I feel like if it's just it's getting a bit hotter, that's not like scary to me, even though intellectually, the water might rise or whatever. But like add more sharks and more fucking evil crocodiles coming down. It's like that's now apocalyptic. It gets the vibe
But
of
you
like
can
people
also
taking it seriously.
grow wine grapes in Scotland, so there's good things happening too.
Exactly.
No, totally. But and that's why we need the crocodile reminder of like they are coming down. Like apocalyptic stuff is going to happen to you. You're going to die.
We're growing our own bucky, man. It's gonna be great.
That's really good.
Yeah,
That's
thank
really,
you.
really good.
I actually heard a theory. Like people, it's like a kind of almost a meme to be like people keep getting dumber. But I heard a theory that actually the concentration of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere is getting higher in a way that is actually possibly making people dumber. I don't know how, what the science
And
is.
that's why you cheated?
On the Sudoku, yes.
It's
But yeah,
always
I
a
don't know.
good sign for your mental health if you're reading articles about why everyone's so stupid. It's the gas in the air.
So we're slowly being gassed is what you're trying to tell us.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if that is actually that there might be people who understand science listening, going like, "That's conspiratorial nonsense." I don't know.
Wasn't there lead everywhere until like the 70s or whatever?
There's still lead in the
paint.
Stanleys.
Yeah, lead paint. And then the murder rate went down as soon as they stopped using it.
Really?
Yeah, because it
and leaded petrol too.
just impulse control. It affects impulse control.
Wait, so
In
it's
the
like CTE vibes.
So in the same way that the biggest murder rate in Chicago is on the hottest day of the year because everyone's grumpy, it was just impulse control. Murder rate went down. All violent crimes went down significantly when they stopped in the 80s.
That's
So
crazy.
we've only had like 40 years of like not super lead in our brains.
But then the temperature was rising,
Yeah.
so now we're testy because of the heat.
But we were burning
Yeah.
so much coal in our houses that there was
Yeah.
so much CO2 like above us at all times as well. So we were affecting it in a different way.
But the way that, like, you know, we didn't know about asbestos or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, what's going to be the new thing? Like
Vaping.
yeah.
Vaping. Yeah.
100, yeah.
The
juice
vape
from
mines
China.
in Central Australia.
Watermelon ice is making us crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe it.
And the good thing is that we haven't made it like a huge bedrock of our economy either. It's not like every shop sells vapes and that's how they make money.
Well, asbestos was also a huge bedrock of your economy,
Yeah,
so
it
that's
was.
good. That's
Yeah,
like, you know, there's nothing new under the sun.
Both
really.
things were a big win for the working class at the time, but really fucked us.
What will happen to those mysterious shops that are so empty? I love those shops in Melbourne where it says like that, you know, like it's like express store or something, and then it feels like they've just moved out, but there's just a little guy sat in the corner in front of a shut cupboard.
Yeah, and you go in there to buy an orange juice and he looks like you've tried to kill his auntie or something. It's like, well, you don't want that, man. They're all wild.
I've got something orange flavored, but I wouldn't take the orange juice.
Back when I vaped, I'd go back to my local store all the time, like, oh, you're here again. I'm like, I'd always be like, how's business, boys? And they go, business is good. And I go, yeah, pretty fucking addictive, boy. The fucking local Iranians being like, wow, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
The lads that once asked me, you know, if you're ever hanging out with any chicks, you could bring them in here. I don't think it'll be a good idea.
Okay, wait. So they're doing like a hookah lounge, but in the vape? In the vape
Mate,
shop?
they're just hanging out in a store filled with vape and American candy.
Listen,
There's
if
no
you've
hookah
ever
around.
have you been to a cigar store? Because cigar stores all have that little cigar smoking area. And I think we need to introduce that into vaping. A classy
The little vape
vaping
area.
experience. Maybe a vape that looks like a cigar. This is okay.
Or
Patenting.
the VUCA, where everyone's got like a long hose that's like hooked up to a big central industrial. And you can sit around on like sort of Turkish style cushions.
That's what I'm fucking talking about. We need to inject a little bit of a class into the vaping experience.
Or and community, I guess.
100%. Thank you so much for saying that.
People are drinking less. So I think if you had some sort of like neon-y kind of like situation where it's like hookery out the back, you can vape. Well, sitting in a circle.
Yeah, it's time to go Chechen mode and go to the alcohol-free shisha lounge. Well, there's like a real massive thing in Moscow. People because your ethnic Russians love consuming tobacco products, and your sort of Muslim Russians kind of love a place to hang out where you can't drink. So there's loads of like shisha lounges that are run by like Dagestanis, Chechens, that sort of thing. And then like your average Russian guy loves smoking, so they go there, and you can usually like order a pizza to the place or whatever and smoke shisha, play video games. Whatever.
It's also the perfect place. So I lived in Russia until I was 14, but I would keep coming back there as a teenager. And I would say that like that is the ultimate preteen hang. Ooh, pizza and a hookah for like 12 people.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
It is such a freaking vibe.
You say video games. How are the video games coming into it?
Quite
is there
often,
a big screen?
Quite often they'd have like a bunch of different seating areas where there'd be like a PlayStation or whatever in each one. So you can kind of like hire a table.
It's giving
and,
airline
have a hookah
lounge.
and whatever. Yeah. But because so many of them are run by like Chechen guys, they are the vibes are a bit crazy. Like there's a certain culture that like I went into one in Dynamo, which is in like kind of like it's not like central Moscow, but it's like properly in the city. It's not like the suburbs. And my mate took me in there and he's like, "Oh, I like this hookah place. Let's go in here and hang out." And I walked in and they had a lion chained up behind the desk.
No.
Oh my God. And was it one of those sedated ones that they like clearly just put a bunch of tranquilizers
It was
in
like
it?
it was like a female lion that was sort of like doped up
I wish there was a
behind
word
the
for
desk.
that.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, I think
it feels weird to use lioness. It was a member of the England women's football team, which I was thrilled about.
Okay.
Was
Well,
like,
if you're going to say female comedian and not comedian, you might as well say
Yeah, exactly.
female lion.
Jesus Christ.
But Russians love keeping wild animals that they sedate quite aggressively, like a black panther that's just completely off its tits on hookah, I assume.
Yeah. Maybe it was just stoned.
Yeah.
The lion was like, "Yeah, bro."
It's gonna be a tied up line. It's like may as well be on some pain pills.
I mean, you're
compared
going to want to
mine.
drug the lion.
Yeah, you're going to want to.
My mate in America, he's from Kansas, and his mum took him and his sister on like a weekend away to this petrol station, which was called the Lion Petrol Station. And out the
What a weekend away to a petrol station.
There was a motel across the road that they stayed at, and just behind the petrol station was a lion in a cage.
What? What? Is it in Kansas?
Yeah.
I mean, if you've got
We
to
are
choose
still in
between
Kansas.
2 petrol stations and it's like 10 cents more, but you get to see I'm going to the lion.
Yeah,
one.
this is true. This is true.
See that it's just such a developed nation. You go, why is there a lion fucking petrol station?
Yeah, it
mate,
is.
I like that.
Everyone needs a hook, mate. Everyone needs a hook.
You got to get them in somehow.
Do you guys know what happened in Glasgow a couple months ago?
No.
So, listen to this. Queen Street Station, a historic Glasgow building. I would say an iconic part of the Glasgow skyline. If you were to see a Glasgow postcard, it would have Queen Street Station on it. In flames, up in flames.
Oh.
People losing their minds. It won't stop being in flames. And why is that? Because a vape shop was set on fire, and they were trying to extinguish the flame with water, which is not something you're supposed to do because it's not like lithium fire.
Yeah.
But the crazy thing is that the vape shop was called Inferno. What?
Yeah.
Who wrote this?
Yeah. It's crazy that
I'm going to be honest. I was expecting a lion to appear in this. I'm like, and the fire was set by.
Yeah.
We don't know there wasn't one.
It's crazy that analog smoking directly involves fire, but the main fire hazard is the electronic replacement to smoking. They've actually replaced it with something more flammable.
I'm sure the people who died in the blaze were thinking, this is a bit ironic.
If only Alanis Morissette.
If you zoom out,
10,000
it's
vapes
actually
when all
quite
you need
funny.
is a cig.
Honestly, I'm always astounded by the humanity's ability to make bad things worse. The way that we were like, fuck the mall. The mall is a temple to consumerism. And we're like, would you prefer an Amazon warehouse where you have to piss in a bottle? And then here it's like, cigarettes are so bad for you. They give you cancer. And they're like, we're going to invent a cigarette that's also a computer that's going to be landfill that set Queen Street on fire.
And you can smoke it in bed.
Oh, hell yeah. Like it's the 60s. Like you're James Bond. It's Blue Rise, darling.
You got some voices.
Yeah. He can do it. Request. He can do anything. He can do anything.
I'm like the pub pianist.
Kermit?
Kermit the Frog.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that.
First goes pretty
And
good.
the thing about Kermit the Frog is if you push it a lot further, you gradually get into Jordan Peterson.
Oh, shit, you do.
It's not funny what they're doing online to people. Okay, I happen to find it quite emotional. The things that they're saying.
So true.
Yeah.
It's like when I realized that indie girl voice is just pitch shifted Cartman. That blew my mind. That really blew my mind.
Yeah.
Do you guys know Indie
Can you
Voice?
do it?
Indie
No.
Voice? Okay.
Yeah.
Indie Girl voice is like Lord adjacent when they it's like, there was a viral Vine,
Vine,
back in the day where he's like, we got bananas and avocados. Like, that one voice that like some women sing with. And then if you really pitch shift it up, it becomes Cartman. Yeah.
We got bananas and avocados.
Can you do Steve Irwin for some local flair?
Steve, I feel like I haven't heard Steve Irwin's voice in such a long time that I can do. I remember the sort of
Irwin?
things that. No, I didn't know about Robert Irwin until I went to the footy show, and then
You didn't know Robert Irwin existed?
Well, I
Hadn't
knew
come
that
across your
I'd
desk?
heard of Bindi Irwin,
Yeah.
but I hadn't heard of Robert Irwin. I was aware that Steve Irwin had several children, but
Yeah.
Bindi was the only one I was aware of.
Yeah.
Indy's old news, mate.
Yeah. Bindy's done. Bindy's fucking-
Indy's washed, mate. Robert is the new Irwin.
Like, he's got abs and shit.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah,
like the
yeah.
young, beautiful guy who looked up to his father until maybe last year he did like maybe even like
Dancing
a GQ.
with the Stars or something?
Or he did Dancing with the Stars, but he did like a GQ shoot where it's like him with a snake with abs and like.
Oh, yeah, he looked
he's
good.
hot now, basically.
Mm.
And he's the most media trained man on earth
Oh,
as well.
just-
Oh,
Who
okay.
knows what's going inside? I think
Oh.
he's a closeted homosexual.
I mean,
That's the worst thing you can imagine about somebody.
Not the worst, but he is. Yeah,
I mean, imagine thinking that in a woke way, just like, come out, brother, don't be ashamed. That's what's bad about it. Be yourself.
Come on, mate.
Yeah.
No one likes dancing this much. Come on. He's dancing with the crocodiles. Like, all right, okay, mate.
He's dancing, man.
No
That's-
girlfriend,
Yeah.
mate.
I do think, I think if we could have an Australia Zoo Pride, that's what I'm fucking talking about. That would improve Australia Zoo as a person who's been to Australia Zoo.
you've been.
I've
Yeah.
never been.
I think he might have. He does the presentation there sometimes.
Sometimes,
Yeah,
come on,
okay,
he's
no,
got
okay.
other engagements.
Yeah, totally.
I went there when he was at the peak of the photo shoots. He was
gotcha.
good.
Yeah.
He was, I don't know, posing in Hanes somewhere.
Yeah, yeah.
They must have some gay animals at the Australia Zoo, I reckon.
Mate, everywhere.
Statistically.
This is true.
Totally.
Yeah.
No, you make it just the Australia Zoo.
Yeah.
No, but I mean,
the
like,
London Zoo.
but do they know which ones they are?
I think they actually do. It's like the only place they do know where they're like, these dudes do
Yeah.
not want to fuck women.
100%.
They're
They're
tracking.
watching.
They're
We've
watching.
tried.
Yeah. We've tried with all our might.
I went on a date a few months ago with a girl
Legend.
who, thank you, and how good is that?
End of story.
Well done.
She used to do the bird show at Taronga Zoo,
Oh, sick.
which is a pretty respected
It's the best show.
It's a pretty good show.
Okay, so you're
I
both,
went on a date with a girl and she must have been gay.
But
so
I
you're
guess-
both in performance.
Well, yeah, and we were comparing notes to some degree, but then she also said now she works in kind of like observing the animals and their habits, like pretty specifically, and she does little like different studies. I shouldn't say little studies, but like discrete studies. And one of the discrete studies that she does or did was the effect that they have at Taronga Zoo, Sydney Zoo, one of the best zoos, view of the harbour. It's gorgeous.
It is gorgeous.
They do
Sorry, I
shows
confirm.
there at night. Sometimes they do music, and they also do comedy lineup shows, which
Oh.
I did one like 6 months ago.
Mhm.
And she researches the effect that has on the animals, if any.
It's like,
And
Tom,
so I
3
was
of the
like-
macaws died after your performance.
And I said, hang on, so like I did that 6 months ago. Like, was I in the like that show? And she's like, oh yeah, that would have been in the study. I'm like, so did we annoy the animals? And she's like, yeah.
They hate PowerPoint.
Yeah, they didn't like it. Yeah.
They thought the American was hacked, mate.
That's great.
My favorite bit of the Australia Zoo was the fact that the Croc show is called the venue is called the Crocaseum. Come on.
That is great.
I feel like maybe I've told the story before, but we definitely bleep the name. And when I say the name, you best bleep it, Preston.
Okay.
So we went on a day where it was fucking half empty. Okay. There was barely anybody there. They do the Croc show, the Crocaseum. It's, I want to say, a quarter full. Okay. I mean, it's not
Brutal.
anything.
The crocodile's like, ugh.
Wednesdays.
Sales are down across the board. Sales are down.
And I have the data. I'm 400 years old. I know about Wednesdays.
So they have a VIP booth at the Crocaseum, but obviously it doesn't have the luster when it's quarter full. And lo and behold, we look at the VIP booth at the Crocaseum, and who walks in surrounded by chaperones? If not, bleep this out.
Wow.
Surrounded by chaperones.
Surrounded by Chapel Road. Wow.
It's just, I love the idea of being like, well, I couldn't possibly sit in the general admissions area of the Crocaseum on a slow Wednesday at Australia Zoo. That wouldn't.
The angle from the VIP.
Yeah. I'm going to direct this down the camera. You, the listener, can't know the name, but it's so much funnier when you do know the name.
Guess in the comments.
Yeah. You just have to trust us that it was a really funny person for it to be.
I guess they're not quite VIP enough to be up there.
Yes.
Yeah, you're
the
not
Crocs are like him.
20 years ago, maybe.
Yep.
20 years ago in Australia.
Yeah.
But the Crocs are saying that.
Yeah.
Washed again.
Not even Husey. Come on.
Mate, Hughes will be hosting the Croc shows.
Yeah.
You just got to do it, man. You just got to do it.
The best bit of the Croc show is that they ended. Remember, I want to say 10 to 15 years ago. I want to say even longer than that. A dubstep remix of everything was the thing to do on YouTube.
Yeah.
We're aware of this.
Yeah.
And so they decided to do an in memoriam to Steve Irwin by playing a dubstep remix of a clip
At the Crocodile?
Yes, that's the closer. Hand on my heart.
Dubstep. There must have been like more kind of like electronic but sad music, and then like the
No,
thing
no,
at
no,
the
no,
end
no.
to for like hope for the future was dubstep.
Okay, yes, that.
Yeah.
But it's like
There was a time for like an RIP beautiful moment throughout the package.
and then as you walk out, it's like
Let's
boom,
be real
boom,
here.
boom,
It wasn't wall-to-wall dubstep at the Crocaseum, the place where the man was made. Our national hero. You're saying that the whole music track was
I swear, but there was dubstep in it.
Yep, great.
Even to that point, I mean, even to that extent, it's
Well, I feel
it's
like
a
if
big
you're
move.
editing something like that, you need to be like, remember this guy, some fun moments,
Light in the darkness.
then sad, and then you need to end on happy, hope for the future. God forbid, Robert Irwin is in there, and, like his kids, and like keep coming back. You know,
I was in year 5 when he died, and I remember it because
Is this like your 9/11?
no,
Oh.
not at all. But people were upset in my class, and then I got in trouble because I was making fun of them for being upset.
God, that's a comedian origin story.
This corny guy, dude. We're from Sydney. We don't give a shit about that.
I feel like it is like 9/11 in that Americans took it to heart more than Australians.
Yeah, Americans,
Right.
super
Americans
upset.
love Crocodile Hunter.
Which is actually sick being an Australian in America. Like, because I lived in America for a year, and mate, Australian culture has just somehow permeated African American culture. And sometimes you just get to be a superstar. You're just trying to get some food, and someone's like, "Oh my God, you're from Australia," and you're like, "I am." And then that's with the like mic at the fast food, and then you come round into where it's like a window, and they see my face, and they're like, everyone, oh my God. It's a black woman on $7 an hour is like, "It's on my list. I'm going to Australia." I'm like, "You're never coming to Australia. Financially, it's impossible."
This is all you're gonna get.
This is it. Yeah.
I'm going to do my best. Would you like to hear a crikey? I could
some
do your
extra
truth,
fries.
but I don't think you know that one.
And Crocodile Dundee is massive as well in the community. So it's those two as well.
Anything crocodile.
Can you guys explain Crocodile Dundee to me? Because I know the turn of phrase, but I have no idea what it is.
It's a movie.
Sort of like an art house film.
A hit 1980s comedy film where a very Australian man from the bush is in New York City of all places.
Oh, fun. Is he actually played by an Australian?
Yeah.
Well,
Paul
he's
Hogan.
the guy that just would call the radio station and yarn sometimes. And they're like, man, this guy is so good and such a good vibe. They're like, let's get him in. And then
Wait,
they're
is
like,
this true?
you got any ideas? And he was like, yeah, I got some ideas. So he wasn't fake, that's for sure. No.
Wait, so he was just himself in New York?
Oh, he played a character
He played
of like
a character of a bit more
This
Australian.
is what
Yeah.
every dad thinks will happen to them. Like they ring this radio station up and they're like, this guy's good. We got to make a movie about this guy. You should have the radio show.
Every man I've ever talked to is hoping something like that occurs.
I thought that would happen to me by now.
I remember even playing like Snake on my phone as a kid or whatever, like playing games and wondering, like I didn't even have higher scores than my friends, but I thought that there was a chance that like something about like my quick twitch responses or like and reflexes or something, like the owners of the game would notice some special behaviors in how I did the game, and I'd get an email. Like I'd just dream about that.
I get that during sex. Someone's got to be watching this.
Well, all those got me when I was young as well. Like all those random, like kind of young teen books of like the Ranger's Apprentice or like the guy that's his uncle's in the CIA and he gets thing that someone's just going to appear.
My uncle's in the CIA.
Someone's going to appear and be like, mate, I know you don't get the best marks, but school's bullshit and we can tell you're really smart.
Exactly.
And I know you're not the most athletic on the footy team, but we can just tell that you've got this super killer vibe.
You haven't done the work to come to us. We've done the work to come to you. We've used the utmost best technology to assess your potential.
We see you the way you jumped over that fence the other day. And we're very
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Well, Steve Irwin for years was just phoning into the zoo. Like, this guy's great.
Well, I watched some of the early Steve Irwins recently, and he's way nerdier. He hasn't like Ozzed it up more.
Yeah,
and he's just a
really.
bloke that's genuinely heaps into conservation.
Yes, totally.
So like someone that is that into conservation actually isn't the Ocker bloke that the Americans want.
no,
as well.
100%.
You got to make it an act, mate.
Yeah. And then nothing is going to like help you lean into that character more than going over to America and it killing. And then you come back to Australia like, get out everyone, they fucking love it over there, so you're going to have to deal with it here. We're like, okay.
When I lived in America, I was so against mentioning that I'm from Australia on stage. And eventually someone was like, mate, you should probably mention it up top. Everyone's trying to work out your accent.
Yeah,
I'm like,
100%.
Yeah,
Because it's just, no offense, there's a lot of British people that come here and are like, Britain, Australia,
Yes.
let's work out the pros and cons and live here for 10 years. And you're just like, oh, I just can't compare anything. I don't want to compare America and Australia. I don't give a shit, you know?
Yeah, you just don't want to step on the hacky landmines.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, I don't know where they are. I'll just not
exactly.
mention my identity in any way. Someone's like, you should mention your identity at least a little bit. I'm like, okay, fair enough.
You step on a hacky landmine, and the last thing you hear is save some pussy for the rest of us.
It's funny that you say that that's like what every dad thinks will happen if you go to Australia, because I was on a radio show here in Australia a couple of days ago.
Congratulations.
And like the concept was that you like people were calling in or saying either truths or lies and you had to decipher it. And
That's like every radio show in the United Kingdom.
And a guy called in and he was like, yeah, so one time I saw this comedian and I heckled him and he was so impressed that he got me on stage and we just like exchanged jokes for 60 seconds and everybody was like, wow. And then even the girl that I was with was like, that was amazing. And I was like, that's a lie. And he's like, yeah.
You're meant to make it a believable lie. The game isn't just say the coolest thing you can imagine.
But it's so funny how like that is like the craziest thing and like that's his ultimate fantasy to have to happen, that he's not even in this fantasy on the stage. He's called up on the stage to do a little bit because his
Years
heckle was so
later.
good.
My response would be, that's either a lie or it happened in Perth. There's a possibility that happened in Perth.
Or he brought you up, was trashing you, everyone was laughing at you, and you don't have the ability to sense what was going on.
Yeah, you have an amazing kind of like personality immune system where you know your mind knows it can't take that information and it's sheltered you from
You're
it.
unable to distinguish between positive and negative attention.
He was so impressed with my heckle. He said that. Oh,
He was
so impressed with my heckle.
Oh God, that's
lovely
probably
man.
only happened a handful of times in history.
I used to watch stand-up sometimes, like as a teen, and like imagine that they're like, "Oh my God, the comedians are all sick. Can someone here do 5 minutes?"
Who, me? You guys got PowerPoint?
Well, they do that at the fucking Comedy Store Gong Show in London. Where they're like, does anyone from the crowd want to give it a go? And it's always a comedian who gets up, but the crowd doesn't realise
Oh,
this.
really? Yeah.
And they're like, fuck.
Yeah.
That's crazy. It's just a bloke. And it's actually a desperate open micer who has bought a ticket in order for this.
Oh,
because-
shit. So that's a move to get on, is to just go as a punter and then.
Because if you book in advance, they book you in like 6 months in advance because they get booked. But the other alternative is if you just literally show up to the
just
gig
go,
and volunteer.
And also, you're more likely to win because people in the crowd will be like, he's a generational talent.
Yeah.
He just
One of
got
us.
up. And it's their fantasy. They want to be that guy. So then they're rooting for him.
I want to start a show like this. Just have someone come out, oh no, and then like a clap. Who would?
Yeah.
I guess,
Tom Cashman's not here. And then you're like, well, I guess if he's not turned up, I'll.
That is I think that's the opening to David Cross's maybe first HBO special. He's on a date with a woman, and then someone comes up and is a big fan, and I think gets him to sign an autograph, and then says, "Oh, my brother's having a birthday across the road. Would you come and just do 45 minutes? Would that be okay?" And he goes, "Yeah, that'll be fine." And then he walks over and then just starts doing stuff. I guess it's that.
45 minutes at a birthday. God, that'd be tough. That'd be real tough.
Should we offer a Patreon tier where you could be a guest on Glue Factory?
Ooh, yeah, that could fund the whole show.
Would you like to be a guest on Glue Factory?
We only need 2
Come
or 3
riff with
people.
us.
Who are your listeners? What vibe are we talking?
Yeah, how would you describe? I would say fans of Milo Edwards.
We've had this discussion recently.
They all prefer him.
I think Olga is very down on how much the listeners actually do like Olga.
The other no, I think they're like, oh, she serves a function, but they would never.
He serves a function.
No, she does. But it's like a couple of days ago we did a live show and everybody in the audience had seen Milo's solo show and no one had seen mine, and that is just the reality, and I'm okay with it.
You could have an equal amount of fans who are just shyer.
Oh, I think the people who come.
homebodies.
I think people who come to my solo stand-up shows will find this unlistenable.
You're framing yourself as both above and below this.
Yeah. And look, there's more people going to Olga solo shows net. So yeah, sure.
They're just busy.
Yeah, the particular brand of valued customer who comes to my live show has a high overlap with the people who come to this podcast live show.
The other day on the tram, a guy who said he was a Glue Factory listener came up to Milo, said he was a huge fan of Milo, then made direct eye contact with me and walked away.
He said, well, I thought he was saying like you plural. I didn't think he was saying me specifically.
Oh no, I think he shook your hand, but not mine. That's fine.
I think that was because I think it was logistically difficult
and the
to
thing
shake
is,
your hand
I
due to
am
the
one
positioning.
step in their interactions with women, and the next time maybe they'll say something to the next one.
Yeah.
I'm.
There's a lot of
By
sweet.
being there and tolerating them will embolden them to be kind to the next one.
100%.
There's a lot of sweet, nervous boys.
Step. I'm a key step, and I'm happy to be here for you.
I was with a few people, I think 3 people that did a spot on a comedy lineup years ago, and someone walked past. There were 3 of them, and he pointed at the one in the middle with 2 fingers and said, "I love your set," and then he split the fingers and pointed to the one on the left and the one on the right to exclude the one that it started with. The one in the middle was just like, oh,
I love your set.
I can't even laugh because that's so heartbreaking.
Yeah.
That would end me. Oh my God.
Wow. That is fucked.
Look, we've all been in a situation where you're walking with another comedian and then a person comes up and asks you to take a photo of them with the other person.
Oh yeah. Have I told you
That's happened to me
about
like 3 times.
when I was opening for Zhenya in Korea? And so this is like a famous Russian comedian that I used to be a comedian on Russian TV many years ago. And we were kind of the
you were
same.
on Russian TV.
Yeah, it's a long story, but I was a comedian on Russian
huge in
TV,
Russia.
and not anymore. It's very funny because the clip about I had like a viral stand-up clip about being famous in Russia, and then there's the clip is literally about an incident that happened to me at a police station where I got recognized by a policeman. There's photographic evidence that's edited into the clip, and then there's all these Russians going, "He's not famous in Russia. It's impossible that anyone knows." It's like, number 1, this happened years ago. Number 2, you don't need to know who I am. You just need to believe that one guy did. That's all you need. That's That's the only suspension of belief you need to. I'm not saying I'm like fucking Jimmy Carr in Russia. Anyway, whatever.
It's complicated. I'm getting the sense it's complicated.
Yeah.
It's a difficult relationship you have with Russia.
Well, doesn't everyone have a difficult relationship with Russia, really? But anyway, yeah. So me and him, we were kind of like the same level of famous at the time. I left Russia. He carried on Russian TV. He became like really, really famous. And by which time my famous tapered off. And then we're booked to do this show for Russians in South Korea, where there's loads of Russians.
You've heard of Big in Japan. Have you heard of Has Been in Russia?
Yeah, exactly. But in Korea also. It's like wheels within wheels, a type of doll. Anyway, so there we are. And I'm opening for him. And like people are primarily there to see him. Also, he's ethnically Russian, but he's from Kazakhstan. And a lot of the people, Russian speakers who live in South Korea are actually Kazakh. So he's like super famous to them, more so than. So then I'm opening for him. We're in the dressing room beforehand. We're chatting. These two girls come in. And they're like, oh, the security guard said we could say hi or whatever. And they come in and I swear to you, they spoke to him for like 20 minutes and completely ignored the fact that I was there. In the course of this, like it kept getting more like Austin Powers style over the top. They presented him with an oil painting of him that they had painted. And then they did not say a single word to me.
Hang on, so you were 10 minutes into the combo thinking, I'm next still.
I knew.
It was only when the oil painting came out you thought I might not get it.
I knew they were here to see him, but I just thought they would at least politely acknowledge me. I'm not expecting them to be like, and we're also a huge fan of you, but to go like, oh, hi, or even just introduce
not an oil
themselves.
painting, maybe a sketch.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, just maybe like a quick thing, a caricature. I'd accepted a caricature.
You're in the corner doing funny faces.
Yeah.
Or even the respect I'd give to someone I knew and their friend that was with them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Neither of them are famous.
Yeah. Even if I was just like his manager, it would be polite to
say hello. Yes.
Say hi, make eye contact in one way. My mate, I'm on his podcast sometimes, and people are always his fans are very complimentary to me. But at the start when it happened, he was talking to some guy, and he's like, "Oh yeah," and Rohan's here, Rohan's episodes, and the guy just like looks at me and goes, like, okay. And then he talked about that on the pod, and it just caused a million blokes to be like, I really like you.
That's motivated, I reckon, being like, I have a relationship in my head with this guy. I don't want to see the guy who's actually friends with him.
The side guy is interrupting right now.
Exactly.
He's cocking us.
He brought a cigar for Billy, being like, here's a cigar. And Billy's like, man, I don't really want to smoke a cigar.
Blue Factory!